Okay, Miguel, the floor is yours. You should be able to share anything you want.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is Miguel. I'm from Mexico. For the ones that don't know me, I'm in Brazil currently. So right now, what we're going to do is to answer some questions, a few questions actually in Mentimeter. So I will share the link here and then I will display my screen as well. Please let me know if you have access to. And there is this code in case you need to access to. Okay. So we prepare a few questions in order to know like what we can actually know for the what we can do for the next weeks actually, and how we can organize the idea about this hackathon that we are helping to organize. So yeah, the idea is to answer these questions and then like we can discuss question by question and then see what could be the best for everyone for the hackathon. So yeah, the idea is to open the discussion and try to bring some ideas and try to see what will be the best for this hackathon. So are you all are able to see to open the link? Is that correct? You can answer.
Yes, but we cannot put the code yet.
Oh, okay. So I think if you access to the link, I think you are going to directly to the questions. Okay, I see already some likes. I think that's an answer. So the first question that we prepared for you guys was this one. So and we would like to know first. How could you describe the purpose of your organization? So if you can answer this question, you can type some answers. That could help us to actually see like what we can actually do for the hackathon events. So it would be nice if feel free to answer to type your questions and then like we can discuss them a little bit. So we can give a few minutes for now, so probably 5 minutes, and then we can discuss. I understand that you all belong to different organizations, so you represent different organizations. So I think that could be nice to know like what will be the purpose of your organization right now. Perfect. I see there are some questions already. Some answers coming.
Some of the questions that we prepared for you today is also for us to get to know you better and to understand better what your organization is trying to do and it's doing at the moment. So you will see some questions that are about like your organization, some that are like how you see it in some like in the future or something like it's happening now, like difficulties or something like that. But what we were thinking with Miguel, as we mentioned in the previous meeting, is that some of I think all of these questions will help us to humanize these the topics, right? So if everyone is like, if everyone understands and we are like all reading these and understand what everyone is doing, then it's also nice to know which resources we have in the group and which ones we are lacking, and yeah.
Yeah, also, I don't know, like most of you were in the last meeting, so we were explaining a little bit about like what a hackathon is. So the intention is to actually solve some of the issues that you may have right now in the organization where you are. So, but first we would like to know, okay, what's the purpose of my organization, in this case, your organization, and then we can see, okay, what are the challenges which are going to be the following questions, and then like we can set a few challenges, and then we can see how we can conduct these challenges, and then try to see how we can solve with participants from different parts of the world and regions, and yeah, and what kind of challenges and people could actually help us for solving these challenges that you may be facing right now. So I already see 3 questions, which is working on parallel society, citizen island. I don't know if who wrote this answer. Would you like to develop a little bit more about this answer? I think it would be really nice to hear what is this question, this answer.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Roland.
Hi. So Citizens Island has 3 components. The first component is to make a secure place for everyone, an island. And second part is to provide UBI by asking multinationals to freely give 5% of their money to our UBI vault, which is a distribution system. And the third part is of Citizens Island is to support and provide DAOs, decentralized autonomous organization.
Okay,
So
perfect.
that's all.
Thank you very much, Roland. So probably we can hear the others as well, and then like we can see if like there are some like similar proposals that like the different organizations have actually, and probably we can see that probably you have like more in common than you may think, and that will be really nice actually. So accelerate forward, yeah.
Because I see in the chat that Sarat wrote, like, I think wrote something, but is it that could you get in the link, or you want me to paste this in the link, Sarat?
Yes,
yeah,
please,
can you do that? Yeah. I'm not,
Okay, good.
please, yeah, thank you.
So accelerate poverty alleviation and access to finance. So
yeah,
does anyone want to mention something about this?
Yeah, that's me. That's Impact Markets. We decentralized poverty alleviation protocol. So we're distributing unconditional basic income to vulnerable community around the world, just using a smartphone, and the access to finance.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Jessica. The next one, which is pilot test implementation of the UBI.
Yeah, it's me. We are developing kind of ONG where we're gonna get a credit to buy some computers and to give to young students of rural marginalized communities, where they're gonna learn about blockchain, and we're gonna teach about proof of humanity, and we're gonna implement the UBI as an economic systems in those communities in my province in San Juan, Argentina.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Hugo. Mission Possible 2030. Would you like to mention something about what you wrote here?
Yes, that is me and Sarath as well, by the way. Yeah, I mean, we've been advocating and researching on basic income for years and years and years, and now the technology is ready to actually implement. So we really, decided to set up an organization where we can actually, by trial and error and learning by doing, see if we can get a community-driven basic income to the people, and with a focus on the last mile, because it's already quite easy to get it to the people with a smartphone, but we will be focusing on the last mile particularly.
Perfect. Thank you very much. There is a follow-on question actually about like which category fits better for your organization, and it's very important for us to actually focus what we're going to do for the hackathon. So that's very interesting as well.
Yeah, so Mission Possible, we're registered in Sweden, but we have a global scope. So we have projects in more countries.
That's great. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who wants to share like what is written here in the answers?
Yes, the bridging part, I forgot to mention the organization. So as Kotani Pay, we are helping beneficiaries who do not have smartphones or access to the internet to access the funds that Impact Market sort of provides.
Mm-hmm.
So we are also part on the last mile solution.
Perfect.
Hi, Miguel. Hi, I'm from Refugee Integration Organization. We are also using tools like UBI and blockchain-backed UBI to tend to refugees and migrants specifically. We currently operate in Africa in 3 countries, Ghana, Uganda, and Kenya. And yeah, we're bringing a bunch of problems, and we hope we can find solutions to. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else who wants to share something?
Yeah, Miguel, if nobody else is there, I have written on behalf of Basic Income Earth Network and the India Network for Basic Income. Hilda and I wear different hats, and some hats are together. There are hats which have 2 heads. So Hilda and I are in Mission Possible and Basic Income Earth Network as well. I am the coordinator of India Network for Basic Income. Well, as I said, I think overall our objective and purpose is to stimulate conversation about universal basic income in every country in this world. That is the mandate of Basic Income Earth Network. And to that extent, we are collaborating with different organizations. And more specifically, regarding the last mile, which Hilda has already mentioned, I think, in fact, Abhina just spoke. Abhina also, we have been discussing in India, particularly how we can reach the last man, woman, and child. One is how to reach them at lowest transaction cost. Even the domestic money or the international money, fiat currency, and also cryptocurrency, different forms of currencies. How do we, it is one thing to raise them, it's another thing to actually reach that last person. Maybe with right kind of national identity documents and maybe not. Maybe with a smartphone and maybe not. Maybe many of actually most rural people actually do not have, though the numbers are increasing now. And those who have just a feature phone or even no feature phone, how do we reach them? I'll give you a small example that if bank account is the most obvious answer people give, that open a bank account and don't go and collect. But if the nearest bank is like 10 kilometers and you are getting $10 and you're paying $6 to go and come back, and another $2 to have a snack on the way, and you're left with $2. So $10 doesn't become feasible. So that's a no-no. So how do you reach, how can this man get all the $10? I think the experiment we have done with Kotani Pay and Rio and Impact Market, I think Jessica will say, we have been able to do with less than 6%. I think that's really, really fantastic experiment. But then M-Pesa is there, and M-Pesa is not everywhere. Yeah, that's all I close there.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Very interesting. I actually work with children as well, and it's very challenging, but it's very interesting as well. So to try to reach them and to know like what they need and how we can actually hear them as well. So that's a real challenge actually. So
and I think that you will like the last question that we have, because you already kind of mentioned, but wait for it.
Yeah. So anyone else who wants to say something about the answer who were here?
Yeah, hello, my name is Julio. I am working on the Circles project, and I'm also public outreach for the Basic Income Earth Network. The Circles project is, as written there, is looking to provide tools for people to issue their own money, their own promises, so to say, and create a basic income system from the bottom up. We've been doing that since last year, October, mostly here in Berlin, but we have communities everywhere in the world. About, I believe, 100,000 people managed to make an account so far, and we're trying to figure out ways in which to support those communities to organize their own systems.
Perfect. Thank you, Julio. So yeah.
I would say that finally will be the UBI Blockchain Alliance, which everybody here is building. So Anna and I just dropped let's say a piece that could be a draft for the mission of everyone here. That could be the space of cooperation and collaboration between people, organizations, and technologies with the mission of ending poverty. And we can talk about this later because this is not space for that, but this should be a draft for our mission, of together.
Yeah, and I think also something very important from that we can take, I mean, for Miguel and me, it's very important this question, so we get to understand all of you, but also something important is that also you get to understand all of you, and from here, what you just said, Humberto, can be the objective of the whole alliance. So that's also something great that we can take from this. But yeah, I think we can, if there is no one else that wants to say something, we can move to the next question because we are also like checking on the time.
Perfect. That's fine. Thank you for checking out the time, Nietzsche. So the next question is this one, just to have a general idea about like in which group you think like you fit better. So please feel free to answer this question. So, and with the previous question, I think it was nice to hear your answers because as probably you could hear, there are many people, many groups in this call that are facing so many technical and technological challenges that we can actually face. We can actually work in the hackathon, and we can try to find a solution for that. So that's interesting. So okay. So
give an explanation of the difference between basic income umbrella and the other ones.
Sorry, Roberto, you asked me to do that?
Yeah, so that we understand that, I don't know, maybe UBI blockchain projects is the projects that are working with a blockchain technology behind it for a UBI thing, and basic income umbrellas will be, I don't know, like gathering or network related, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So basic income umbrellas is like, this about all the research that is behind, or like trying to put together actually these UBI blockchain projects with reaching the last mile. And reaching the last mile would be the institutions or the organizations that are actually like the main focus. Of course, the main focus of all of us is to leave no one behind, but that are more working on the field or like are more focused now on the, in with society and trying to improve how to reach them, or they are implementing already something and testing, and so that would be, I would say, the difference.
So I was in doubt about our project UBI Vault because it's a UBI blockchain project, but it can also be used by other projects to distribute money. So therefore I choose UBI Vault to be a basic income umbrella.
Perfect. If you are unsure about like the classification, you can also like mention on the chat like, okay, I don't belong or I belong to more than one categories. So that would be also really helpful. But we understand that most of the organizations actually, even if they are either in basic income umbrellas or UBI blockchain projects, are mostly focused as well in reaching the last mile. And probably that's one of the main focus of the challenges that we are currently facing. But of course, like feel free to share some comments about that. Either open your microphone or write on the chat as well. So
will be
yeah.
that Proof of Humanity is on UBI blockchain project, and then the project of Evo is on reaching the last mile, even if it's using the UBI of the technology of Proof of Humanity. And then the Basic Income Earth Network is on the Basic Income umbrellas, just to have an example.
For me, like these answers it's like really revealing, because yeah, like it's like Miguel was saying, all of us want to reach the last mile, but then you can see like we are still like, some are putting a lot of effort on research and investigation and trying to get this, like how to couple the blockchain but also the technologies that are there. And I think for me at least, this is very clear what the hackathon should be focused on, or like which would be the question for the hackathon, right? That's great. I think we're on the way, so it's cool. I think, Miguel, we can move to the next.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Miguel. Okay, given the existing fiat currency, I mean, without disturbing all that, one is trying to reach the last mile. Okay, now then the next disruption comes when the crypto comes into the picture, and how to convert crypto into the national currency, and then ensure that people can use that money. And that at another level, there is also another thing we need to question, that if people are the ones who are actually generating value in communities, why is it that the banks and the central banks are the ones who are actually making the money? So, I mean, I'm just referring to the complementary currencies, and then creating those, using the blockchain technology, creating those islands where people's value is not completely appropriated by the fiat system, but it's kind of retained, the value is retained in the community itself. I think Julio, my friend, is working on that. He can actually elaborate this point. There are experiments in Africa which are doing this kind of work. Should we take that also into account in this hackathon? Just a question. Or would it really enlarge the scope too much? Julio, would you like to add something to this?
I think Julio may have left.
Are you there, Julio?
I think he may have left already because he had an appointment.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is a very valuable question, but maybe it's not necessary anymore to convert cryptocurrencies in local money. When there are groups of people, they can just have their own crypto coins, and then we can just bypass the banking systems, I think.
So you are talking more about, like, for example, the crypto becomes a local currency, for example, and there is no need to convert this money to the local national money, and then to the money that is going to be used by the specific groups that you want to reach.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
I think that's like another very nice question for a hackathon. I don't know if like these two questions would be like very big for one, but I think it's very interesting. Like if you could put like in the question, you know, like how to make people give a value to UBI and use it as their currency. Because yeah, like now what we need to do, or at least what I think it's missing the most, is that people take UBI as something that is theirs, that they understand, and they are willing to be part of it. And later, then it would be like, okay, this comes together with this. So, but I think it's yeah. I mean, when we after this, or we will tell you like what's next, and next is like just polishing the challenges. We can talk more about this and decide like there can be maybe 3 challenges or something. But I think it's great that now you mentioned this, because it's very interesting too.
Yeah, and just to add on that, really very much agree with Roland on impact market side. I think we all have a different vision on what is the last mile. If it's, going into fiat or cryptocurrency, for us, the last mile is really keeping into cryptocurrency that will reach everybody without having to deal with any banks or local currency that know hyperinflation, etc. So I think it's interesting question to raise. I think we have all different vision on what it is.
Yeah, perfect. Maybe I can add to Sarat that this will be not something which will be achieved tomorrow, but maybe next week.
I like next week. Yeah. Yeah.
That's very interesting. I mean, these questions are also like kind of like a little bit provocative in order to make you think about like, okay, what we have right now, what we want to do, and what we want to reach as well. So, and also probably, yeah, I think like there are a few things that I can see that you share between the different organizations that are interesting for more than one organization, and probably is something that we can become those questions into challenges, and it's something that we can take to the hackathon and try to find a solution with like more people that are more involved as well in this kind of like technologies and strategies that you are implementing here. So I think like, yeah, we can take them into consideration as well.
Miguel, I think we should move to the next questions.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll go to the next one. And this is more about like the positive aspects of your organization. So feel free to type the latest achievements of your organization. So which is also nice to hear, not only like the negative aspects, but also what you have done like in a good way that have helped to your organization. So it will be nice to hear a little bit more about that and to take advantage of what you have done so far, and then like what you could do in the future. So it's kind of like the good practices that you have done in your organization. So it will be nice to read some of your experiences as well here.
Yeah, and this can be like external or internal, like any outreach or any internal things that you have improved, and then they have also improved other of your processes or of your activities. So yeah. Or like, yeah, any new proposals or any, not, I don't know, like anything that is that the latest achievement for your group.
Which have helped to reach your purpose as organization, or which have helped to improve your internal organization, or yeah, the different aspects that you want to cover. So if like someone's I think healthy, do you want to mention something about this, and then like we can go with the next ones?
Yeah, so with as I'm working for 2 organizations, so with Mission Possible, well, it was this basic income blockchain collective that we brought together, all of us, and that we managed together with Impact Market, Kotani Pay, and Rio to actually get the money to a whole village, all the adults in the village, including the ones without the phones. And with Bien, I think the most, well, the best achievements, latest achievements were that we signed an MOU with UNDP, and we brought together different UN organizations at the Bien conference last summer, which was, well, the first time in history that they actually talked about basic income at the Bien conference.
So you already have like a really good practice that you can share with like different organizations that want to do the same, and probably they don't know how to do that. So it is nice to try to visualize. So, okay, there is already like one example of how we can actually do that. So that's really cool. Yeah.
How to catch attention of these agencies that maybe they think they are solving world's problems. Yeah. Okay.
So, Kotani Pai.
Yeah, so recently announced that we launched in Ghana. So in Kenya, we are supporting 1,295 refugees, collaboration with Impact Market in Rio. We're also supporting another 366 in collaboration with MP and Impact Market. So as we expand into Ghana, we're also looking to support another community, another 3 communities, I believe, with Rio and of course, Impact Market. So we might also be doing the same as we also launch into Zambia and Uganda.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Brian.
I don't know, Miguel, I typed something and I don't know, it has not gotten into the slide. Okay, I will just speak about it.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, as I said that, if the bank system is the most, apparently the most obvious pathway, we have gone slightly to the next level of using a payments bank, India Post Payments Bank, which has much larger coverage in the rural areas and with relatively much lower costs, and then no minimum balance required, and very simple procedure to open an account and operate it. So that is, at least we have gone to the next level, but then there is more remoteness to be reached beyond where the post office has been able to reach. So as the India Network for Basic Income, that's about what we have been able to achieve lately.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and achievements. So, this one, yeah.
Yeah, that's Impact Market. So we are turning 1 year old in 1 week, and we distributed 1.2 million to 20 plus beneficiaries in 22 countries. So really proud of that. And I think that would have never been possible with the help of Rio and Kotani Pay that have been absolutely instrumental in this success. So really proud of that.
That's great. Thank you, Jessica.
Sorry, the last text you pointed, it was mine, and I couldn't explain it. The one we said that we become an ONG, and we are about to get a subsidy of the government of $50,000 to implement the project I already said about the education of young guys, student guys in the province of San Juan.
Okay, that's perfect. That was Ivo, and then we have like a few more. Is there anyone else who wants to share their answer? We have a few more, actually, like 5.
Hey, this is Avina again. Some of our achievements recently have been that we have officially distributed around $90,000 to refugees in Ghana and Kenya, and a very small community in India. We have now a presence in all the refugee camps in Ghana, and we are just starting a 6-month-long UBI impact assessment with refugees in Ghana. So we want to understand in this time, and we have a lot of stakeholders that are present on the call, but we want to understand what all of our impact and influence has been on the lives of these people.
Yeah, that's a great question, if you actually made a difference or not, but for sure, probably yes. Yeah, so does anyone else want to share their answer? Otherwise, we can go to the next two last questions.
Maybe just a short explanation on this UBI yearn votes, just not to leave them there like this. So basically they are a product of proof of humanity that was like a layer on yearn finance. And basically what they do is that people can lock their ETH, their stable coins there, and then they generate some interest. Then half of this interest is given back to those who have locked their money inside Yearn Finance, and the other half is used to burn UBI, because since it's a very inflationary token, the value goes down a lot. So it's to decrease the supply, we burn it like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was what we explained in maybe 2 meetings ago. And yeah, and finally on the UBI blockchain collective, we have a webpage that is under construction, but it's publicly available, and I will reach you later by mail, if you allow me, to invite you to the webpage and ask you some stuff from your organization, information to put it there so that people can access and get directly to your, to your links, channels. And the other thing is that there is Scott Morris. Scott Morris is an token engineer which has developed a framework for mapping wicked problems in a token scope or token perspective. So he offered himself to run a frameworks mapping session for us. Yeah, so we can talk about later, but that will be something that we will all benefit by having the map of where are we and how can we collaborate on that. That's it.
Thank you, Humberto and Anna. So if I may, I will go to the next one, to the next question, which is this one. Which of the following areas your organization needs the least and the most? So we only put a few categories, but probably you have like more options, more answers here. So, but yeah, this is only to have an idea about how we are going to conduct like the hackathon as well. So where we're going to focus mostly. But yeah, of course, it will be helpful for different aspects. Yeah. So if while people are answering, probably is there anyone else who wants to? Is there anyone who wants to share like why they answer that? So, or if there is something that probably we are missing here, yeah. So we see that funding is one of the main challenges or needs actually. So does anyone want to share something about that? About why funding and why social trust or partnerships, for example, which are the most relevant here?
Yeah, I would like to tell about impact investor. That's an investor who is interested in the good for the world. And she advised us first to have 8,000 paid contributors instead of raising money. So that is what we are going to do. And that's for the project Citizens Island, of which UBI Vault, the distribution system, is one part. And another part of Citizens Island, as Company Island, is to ask all companies to give 5% of their turnover to a UBI. So we do not need funding for the moment. We need partners and contributors.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you, Roland. Is there anyone else?
For the ones that mentioned about the partnership, it would be good to know like which kind of partnerships or like you have in mind, like which other organizations, or maybe not specific names but areas that they
What
work.
kind of organizations that it would be nice to reach, for example, or do you need? So do you have any comments about that? But the ones who answer partnerships, for example?
For Brian, go for it. I will go after. Go.
Okay, so for us, I see partnerships as a way for us to go into more African countries. And by doing so, then we'll be able to support, say, a bigger sort of base of beneficiaries. On the side of funding, that may also come in, also just to support some of those activities. But partnerships will take a bigger chunk of that. And also possibly a bit of social acceptance, because as we know, crypto has sort of a negative connotation. So just being able to create more awareness around how crypto can also be good, that will also help.
Thank you, Brian. Jessica?
Yeah, for us, partnership, definitely. As mentioned, when we have partner like Kotani Pay, it's really easy for us to enter country and to support beneficiaries. When we do not, and we have to reach only people who have smartphone and then find ways to cash out cryptocurrency because not enough people to exchange their crypto together, it makes things really hard for us to enter a new country. We do it, but it's harder. And you need to have to establish a lot of trust in what we do, in what you do. So yeah, more partnership like Kotani Pay will make our life much more easier.
Perfect. So if I understood well, like if you have like the partnerships, it will be a lot easier to reach the end users. If you don't, you have to do a lot of more communication stages, apply more communication to actually reach the end users, right?
Not really. It's just, well, if we don't have partner like Kotani Pay that enable us, to reach beneficiaries that do not have smartphone, we have to reach only people who have smartphone, and then we have to find ways to help them cash out, which in some countries is extremely complicated, such as Burkina Faso, where cryptocurrency is not really something really common or familiar yet. So it just makes things longer and harder.
Okay.
And I guess it also implies like investing a lot more of resources, not only economical, but also like people resources, right?
Not really. Resources is fine. It just takes longer to onboard communities.
Yeah. It's kind of more bureaucratic process instead of like being like more like smooth process. I see. Perfect.
Also, if I can say
that
very shortly, like partnerships, if we from the perspective of the UBI token, it would really be helpful if like established markets, like, okay, I'm going to say Amazon, it will never happen probably, hopefully one day, yes, that will accept the payment, as Roland said, like we don't need to convert these tokens in real money, we can use it for payment directly in a token. So this would really help like to have the real use in the real world of the tokens. So partnerships with established websites, courses, marketplaces, whatever it is.
That's great. So we went through the proposals of each of the organizations, then the achievements, and then the needs. And then like I think the last question is kind of the most important question that we would like to know in order to see how we're going to conduct the hackathon. And that's going to be this question. And we want to know what's the most urgent action that your organization needs to take to achieve their short-term or long-term objectives. So I think that would be really nice in order to map all these needs and then to see how we can actually go further for the organization of the hackathon that hopefully is going to help you to find some solutions. So yeah, please feel free to type your questions, to your answers, sorry. Yeah, and then like we are going to discuss them a little bit, and then we are going to see if there are some similarities between the different answers that we may have. So we can give a few minutes and then like we can discuss them as well. All right, if you, Sarah, you want to mention something meanwhile, so that's very welcome. No? So yeah, this question is basically to know like, okay, what we want to solve with the hackathon, probably not only with the hackathon, but what we want to solve in the upcoming months, weeks, or years, which will help to reach the objective of your organization. So we already have one question. Yeah.
After this, it's not a well, it's a question, but it's not like a proper answer. It's like a word cloud that it's just like to see. I'm very interested to see like which word or words are like the highlights from all this discussion. But yeah.
Yeah. So we already have like two answers actually. So does anyone? Okay. Company Island. There's Ronald, I think. Do you want to mention something about your answer here?
Yes. So Citizens Island is a platform, and as soon as we have a lot of subscribers, we can make this platform. And where the Company Island is the same, except for that companies can show their products on their island, and citizens can then vote if these products are good. And also on a Company Island, when a company is supporting UBI Vault, then they can show our logo so that citizens and other people will buy from these companies. So, and we have a couple of meetings where we are going to show Citizens Islands and how it works. So the first thing we need is contributors, the subscribers. You can subscribe to Citizens Island for 15 euros a month. Okay. That almost covers the costs.
Thank you, Ronald. Is there anyone else who wants to mention something about her answer here? So we already have like a few more questions, answers.
Yeah, Miguel. I mean, it's one thing to wait for governments to implement a basic income policy. It's another thing to use crypto and then where it is possible to transfer. I'm also thinking, why not we create a very user-friendly app or something where within the community, within the global human community, the giver who wants to give $1 on a Friday morning can easily put it in an app, and then somebody on this other side who wants to receive can we create this kind of a horizontal network through technology where this is seamless and crosses all national boundaries? Yeah.
But this is Valora. What you're talking about, Sarah, this is Valora digital wallets. You can send money in a second across border without fees.
And it is it appears in what currency?
Celo dollars.
Celo dollars, yeah. Then
yeah.
It has to be converted, yeah.
No, I mean, sorry to interrupt, but that's an example I wanted to give because I think we're talking about community currency, the use of Celo dollars. For us, what we saw at Impact Market, it depends the amount of people you reach. For example, in Brazil, we almost everywhere in the favela. In Rio de Janeiro, we supporting 20,000 people there. And so the most used currency in Brazil in this favela is Celo dollars. People do not cash out anymore. They're not using local currency. They're only using Celo dollars and Valora digital wallet, because exactly for the reason why you raised is they can transfer in a second to France. They can pay in a merchant, because merchants started accepting Celo dollars because they realize there is this amount of people that are having a buying power that didn't have before. And so all the economy inside the favela in Brazil turn around Celo dollars. So this is possible. It just depends on the amount of people you reach.
Okay, I think Avina and I have been discussing this Valora. I think, I don't know what issues Avina finds in India, for example. I don't know if you want to go into that, but thank you, Jessica. This is really fantastic.
It will be very interesting to know how those favelas learned about Celo dollars and adopted it and wanted to use that instead of the local currency, because I think that would help.
Well,
also,
this is because they started to be beneficiaries of Impact Market. So they had this money in hands that they didn't have any other before. And so they're starting to use that because they realize cashing out, there is fees, you have to go through bank, there is hyperinflation, there is, well, money lost. So it's just keeping in the same system, make it easier. But yeah, happy to discuss. Brazil is, I know it's not same in every country, but it's a beautiful case to show that crypto can be used as the currency, and the last mile doesn't necessarily mean that we need to cash out to local currency.
Exactly, because I think that's something that would be very, it's very nice to share among the group. Maybe others have been thinking about it, and then it's like how you build trust on that. That was one of the options, right? Like, how do you build trust and make people accept? And I think, of course, when you go give to them, and then they start working around it and using it, and they see that there is a value. And we come back to what I think Saret was saying about people is the one giving value to the currency. Why is why the system is becoming the opposite, or has become the opposite? So I don't know. I just think it's a very nice, good practice that could be shared and could be replicated.
I absolutely agree as well. But in Rio's experience of, the last mile, given that many of these communities are in really dire condition, it's definitely difficult to stop at last mile being exchanging of Celo dollar, but rather digging in deeper to find fiat options. But for Rio, the most urgent actions that we need to take is just raising funds most of all for a variety of things, but I've listed it there below.
Thank you, Avina, Jessica, and Nese. So very interesting, insightful comments. So yeah, I think definitely there's that's something that we can continue the discussion and see, okay, if this is a challenge or this is a good practice that we can share with the different organizations. And yeah, that's something that we can consider in order to put, okay, what we want to solve, for example, or okay, we have done this already, so but we're still missing something, so probably we can try to solve that issues. So yeah, very interesting actually. So is there anyone else who wants to discuss all these challenges or needs actually that you brought here are going to be very useful for us. We're going to analyze all of them and try to categorize them. Probably more than one is similar to the other. And we can see, okay, we have 3 general categories, and then we are going to present to you, and then okay, if you agree, we're going to work with those different challenges and try to use these challenges for the hackathon that we are planning to to organize in the upcoming months as well. So is there any other additional comments about this question? Otherwise, I think I don't want to take like very long in order to show what Nancy is going to present. But I think there is one last question, right, Nancy?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
not like a proper question. This is like, this is like, in one word, what would you say is missing to achieve UBI reaching everyone? And yeah, I think it gives you the option to write 3 words actually, but it would be nice to see like, which would be the word that comes to your head when you think about this question.
So we keep a few minutes to receive the answer, and then like we can go to the next steps. Nice. We already have 2 answers here, funds and love. Perfect. Understanding of CI.
Citizens Island.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Communications, public relations, partnerships, education. So yeah. So yeah, we already have like different words that represent what you actually are thinking right now that you are missing. I think like everyone is very diverse, this group, because everyone is thinking something totally different. I mean, not totally different between each word, but like a different question, a different word. So adoption, okay, GAPE, UBI projects, collaborations, okay. So perfect. So okay, what we're going to do next with this information is what I already say. So we're going to have a look more in detail about what you wrote in the answers, and then like, we are going to try to make some categories of possible challenges that we can work in the hackathon that we want to organize in the upcoming months. So I think you already provide with a lot of valuable information, and that's very, very interesting because I could say that Niels and myself are getting new in these kind of like topics. We organize hackathons and events like that, but this topic is kind of like new for us, but it's very interesting to know more about what you are thinking and what you are leading as well. So that's very important to have like this general idea about the purpose of your organization, but also the challenges that you are facing right now. So I think that's all for this activity, and I think Niels is going to show now Niels is going to present what is going to be next, and I think that's all from my side. Niels?
Yeah, just before we move to that, like there is a timeline that I want to present to you. Is there like, does any one of you want to say anything about this? Like, did you get, like what you got from this activity? Was it like helpful, or did you realize something that you were not like, that you didn't discuss before? Or do you have it like, is it like, does it already help to kind of know which are the challenges that we may, we may suggest for the hackathon? Like anyone wants to say anything before we move from?
I think this was a great job. Like, I think we've been talking for a while now, and we've been hearing about all the different projects, but just seeing it on the screen and being able to read it and to think about it, it was super helpful just to have it in front of us. So really great job for that.
That's great.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, how do I pronounce?
Miguel.
Nilse.
Nilse.
Nilse. What names are really difficult, sorry.
Yeah, in my work, I also spend a lot of time in academic discussions and a lot of political discussions. But I think this process was really, really fascinating because it cuts a lot of bullshit and comes to the point. And also it really gives, in a very lucid way, what people are contributing and how rich their thinking has been. It's really fantastic. I think, as Anna was saying, I think this really puts in front of us such a rich and very hopeful and optimistic picture.
Thank you, Zara.
Thank you.
Truly, thank you very much for this exercise. I'm looking forward to knowing where this goes and what we might arrive at.
Thanks, Avina.
So yeah, I think this was really important. It was a very important activity for us as well, because last meeting we heard a lot from you as well, but it was like, okay, we have so much information, but we really want to see, like, in a short test, okay, what are the needs that they want to cover. And then, like, we can kind of map and organize a little bit better, because otherwise we just have like so many ideas and then like it's kind of complicated to organize them. But yeah, I think it's very useful for us as well. So,
yeah, thanks a lot also for participating and actually writing, because yeah, we have also done this and some people are like, oh, the objectives again. But yeah, sometimes these things that we should have on top of mind, so we don't lose track of what we're doing and what's our purpose. So I think it's quite good. So also thank you to all of you for writing and also like synthesizing the things, which was great actually for reading and for making it a bit more participative. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you a bit. Yeah, now it's going to be more on the administrative, or I don't know how to call it. But can you see my screen now? Because I cannot see you anymore. But
yes.
Okay, so what we made for the organization of the hackathon is like in very summarized, let's say, because behind this there is a lot of work. But I wanted to show you how is it that we usually work when we are organizing a hackathon. So first we make the proposal presentation, which is what we made last meeting, which is like we present ourselves, like who are we, what have we done, what we think we can contribute to your collective or your alliance, your group, and which resources do we need. If you remember last time we were showing all this, and yeah, so I think it worked good. So now we are in this stage of kick-out stage, and the kick-out stage is like 3 main activities. One is the challenges and opportunities brainstorming, which is what we did today. Then it's the date of the event definition and the core team definition. And this is what is coming next, and what we will ask for you from you now. It's like we need to we need you to start thinking about like when you would think it's a good time for making the event. I mean, if maybe you think this year or next year, it doesn't. It is like it will be yeah, good that if you have a date in mind, you don't have to say it now. I think what we were like talking with Humberto and we were thinking with Miguel that maybe you can give us an answer in the next meeting that you have as a collective. And also, so these are the 2 important things that we need from you now and for the next meeting, which is start thinking about the date of the event. We were also like kind of like thinking on dates, and so we were thinking like December, sometimes people are on holidays, and it's like a lot of people, it varies a lot in the world, but it's like that month is a bit chaotic. So if we are planning something, maybe it could be November if you are thinking about this year. If not, maybe then next year. This is important for us, not for the coordination or the planning, because we can plan everything and like give it to you as a package. It's important for us to know when for instance our partnerships person is going to start working, because that person cannot start like making the partnerships, like sending mails, making the calls, making all these meetings if that person doesn't have a date on mind, and that person cannot say like, okay, we want this or we need this for this time, right? Because yeah, that has also happened to us, that we don't have the date like very set, and then the partners are like, yeah, but when do you need, because I need, like, I don't know, like if we need money or something, they're like, I have to make this budget cut on December, so if it goes in that year or in the next year, so it's a lot of other administrative and that kind of stuff. So but it's very important. Yeah, and also the core team, what we need from you is, as we said last time, is the person or people from your organization that will commit to the organization of the hackathon, in terms of like, when we need anything from you, we know who to contact. And if we are going to make these meetings, like maybe one week, like a weekly meeting, is that person is representing your organization. So also the ideas from your organization, from your purpose, is all the time there during the planning process of the hackathon. Then it comes the development stage, which is when we do the challenges development. That's what Miguel and me are going to work. And we're going to be analyzing all this discussion. We will check back the video. We will check on your answers and try to make categories and kind of questions or topics for the challenges. And then with the core team that you define for us, we will be defining, like making it better, and maybe just choosing 1, 2, or 3. It depends how we want to do this. That we work with the team, like us and the team the people you define for the hackathon. Then this is like more on the thinking on how the event is going to look. So we need to check on the participations profile, the technical support we need, the internal external communications. And then these last 2 stages are the hackathon themselves. So in the day of the event, if it's a 3-day event, how do we want the prototypes to look like? Then the evaluation, the winning, the prize, all these things that we were also telling you. If we are going to make it hybrid, if we're going to make it just online, then which resources we have, when we define the what kind of audience or we are like more looking forward to have, then it's like, if we are looking for young people, then we contact the universities, and then we have to manage with the universities to give them the space for that, or those 3 days, to give them the resources, or if we can provide all these things. Yeah, and then after that, there is this event feedback where you and us have this feedback conversation on what went good, what didn't go so good, how we can improve. Because I think, I mean, we have to define also, and that's something that it's in the, maybe during the challenges in this development stage, is where, like, if it's going to be like a worldwide thing, or we want to focus in a region or in a country. And then with this feedback event, what we do is like, okay, we're thinking about replicating this. So how we can do this easier, or like more effective, or maybe if it all goes good, then it's like, okay, we just need to change or modify this or that. But yeah, this is more or less the action plan that we have designed for this hackathon, or like, yeah, for the hackathon. So what I need from you, like your homework, let's say, what I need from you is these 2 right now. This is where we are now in the kickout stage, so that to have a date in mind, and the team from your side that will be helping us. Yeah, I don't know if you have any comments or any questions.
Do you want us to give you the answers now or
no?
Just
I think I think this is just like you to have in mind for the next meeting. You can tell us, this is the people from our organization. I think next meeting it's in 1-2 weeks from yours.
Yeah, we still have to plan it, but I think we should do it in at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So then at least you have 2 weeks to maybe to go back to your team, check on a date, check who has the time, who wants to volunteer, and that. So I think it's great if in this next meeting 2 weeks you can have these answers for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, from there we start with the core team work. And of course, next meeting, we will show to you the outcomes of this. So what we were saying, like this first part, the challenges development, the first part that Miguel and I do. So the analysis of all this and the proposed topics or areas that we can work on. And yeah, from there we start fully with all this hackathon and everything else that has to be, yeah, done.
Okay, cool. So really, thank you very much, Niels here. Really, and Miguel, really productive meeting today. And yeah, I think you will be there in the 2 weeks' time then to listen to our answers and guide us further to the next stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So that will be on the same time as today, like 2:30 European time. I don't know whatever time it is at your place, but wherever you are. Anyone else who wants to give comments or questions or? No, but I think.
I just have a small observation, Hilda. What Hilse said, one of the things I think was about whether it should be global or it should be regional focus of this hackathon. I think in this group, we have a wide variety of stakeholders, people who are working at a global level, like Jessica, Impact Market, and Kotanipe. I don't know if they are just in Africa. I think there can be, instead of any specific region, probably we have to think of different layers of scope in this hackathon. I just wanted to say that, because if it is regional, I was also wondering that, see if it is, if for example, if somebody has to, a group has to work on India, then who is going to give all the information to those who are going to work on solutions? I think all those questions we can come to that later. I just wanted to say that maybe the scope, let us leave it open so that everybody participates. I would like everybody to participate. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a good idea to start global with a global scope, and then focus more on regional specific context, for example. Yeah, could be. Yeah, let's all think about that and come with your answers next time.
Yeah.
I would like to say one thing, just to consider it, not for this next meeting, but for the next one after this one, is about the mapping session, so that we can put it in the agenda and hold that session for mapping the whole ecosystem, because it will take around 1.5 hours for this session of mapping, and this will allow us to understand where are we and what we can offer and what do we need, so that we can have this and constantly update it and be something that the people that come or the organizations that come, they can constantly feed it, and we can find the potential solutions that we have not seen and that might be in front of our eyes, and also to not create more wicked problems with our own solutions. So that's why it's very important to do this. And I will repeat it, I will contact you privately by mail to show you the website and to ask you certain information, so that we can access this website and have it as a central place, as well as Discord, so that we can constantly communicate and not just wait for the monthly meetings. Okay?
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more question, Nilsje and Miguel. How much time do you need in next meeting? Is that a full meeting that you will need, or do we need to have other topics to put on the agenda?
I think if it's a point in the agenda, we will maybe 15 minutes. We can, because we don't know if in that meeting maybe more people will be that didn't participate today. So it's not that we're going to explain everything again, it's just like the results, because after that there will be the weekly discussion with the core team from like your people and our people, and there is where we are going to be like having like deeper discussions on this. So okay. Yeah, it's just like 15. But I was going to ask you, Hilde, it would be great if you just when you send a mail that you always send with the next meeting details. If you can remind everyone like to think about the date of the event and the core for the ones that participated today.
Yeah, I will.
That would be great.
Yeah, summarize the homework.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so then we come to the agenda for next time then, because we take it 2 weeks just to keep this moving forward, and then after that we will go back to once a month. So any suggestions for next time's agenda? Anyone? I can't see you, but so you just have to shout. Because one of the things we were going to discuss was the topic around farmers. I don't know if that is still something that we want to be discussing in this collective meeting. I think Sarath and Ria, you were the ones who were really keen on that topic.
I mean, if you want to discuss those topics in the next meeting, fine. I think we can have an internal discussion and then maybe, I mean, but I think next meeting, within after 2 weeks, what Hilsa was proposing is that they will come out with their findings or observations from this discussion. And then we propose the core team member, the dates and potential date and the scope of the hackathon. I think that's the agenda for the next week. That's how I understood. Am I right, Hilsa?
I think Niels had just said that she only needed 15 minutes, but
yeah, we don't really need like a whole hour. We just need like, okay, a few like minutes from the meeting. So
but the thing is that we understand that next meeting is like their monthly meetings and not like hackathon focused one. So because it's your monthly meeting, then you probably have other topics to talk about, and we will just get like 15 minutes to give the results of this. And then after that meeting, when we know the core team, it's the team we are going to be working each week and to keep elaborating and building the hackathon structure.
Yeah. Well, I do think it might be a good idea actually to use that meeting to do a sort of like brainstorming content-wise about the hackathon. Yeah. I don't know what the others are thinking about that, but anyone?
We would like to present maybe in the next meeting the visuals for the UBI Blockchain Alliance. So let's say the colors that we will use, everything design related. So we have like a nice design and this, since we have also the website now, so we have to decide.
Yeah, Hilde, could you send us the logo that you got drafted from the UBI Blockchain Collective?
Yeah.
So that we can work around it. Yeah, and if we have the time, then we'll like to present the website, to show it, the Discord, to get everyone on board there, to make a quick walkthrough of how does Discord work, so that we can get into it. And yes, and that's it. Will be 20 minutes max.
Humberto, can you share the link in the chat box of the website?
Sure.
Yeah, so then we do 15 minutes hackathon homework, and then half an hour maybe brainstorming about the content, and then the website visuals, UBI Blockchain Alliance, and whatever comes up, you can email me then. Yeah. Okay, great. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
5 minutes short. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, Miguel, and such an efficient program. Bye-bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
All of you.